Welcome to Connect Through Beauty 2.0. My name is Ashley Rivera, and I am so excited that you joined us today.
I'm Krista Bartik, and we are here to help you navigate the challenges and embrace the mistakes that come with this rewarding but demanding industry. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, our goal is to provide you with the knowledge and inspiration you need to help you level up within your career.
Hello everyone, it's Ashley Rivera. I just wanted to let you know about CanvasME. Have you guys heard of this platform yet? Oh my goodness, talk about a game changer. If you are a salon owner and you have trouble recruiting, this is the platform for you. So go to CanvasME.com right now, sign up today. You will not regret it. The people that I recruit on this platform are incredible. They are our people. Every salon has its own culture. And guys, you as a salon professional out there, you're looking for a salon to join, this is the platform to join too, because now you can look for your home, your place, the atmosphere, the environment that you want and you've been always envisioning. So guys, check it out right now, CanvasME.com. You won't regret it.
Welcome back to Connect Through Beauty 2.0. I'm so excited about this. Krista and I have been talking about this interview for a very long time, so now we're here. We have Matt Martinelli from CanvasME and Cole Thompson from ElevationH joining us today. I am so happy that you guys are here.
First of all, guys, just so we're all aware, I have an identical twin brother. If we ever were to have a triplet, it would be Matt.
Yes.
Ah, 100%. I love it.
I love that.
That is true, though. I can see Three Musketeers, definitely.
Yeah, right?
When we're at shows together, it's a fun time.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Krista, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too. Thanks for joining us today.
What's really neat is that we've all come together for one common reason, and the reason is to just continue to grow this beautiful business and industry that we're in right now. So.
Yeah, no, I'm honored to even be talking to you guys. Cole is pretty phenomenal, and Ashley, you're amazing too, and Krista, it's an amazing group. So.
Absolutely, we are just as excited about this collaboration and bringing everybody all together. So I want to dive into this, and Krista and I both have been very excited about bringing you both on as we feature both of your companies on the podcast, and that's for a reason. We believe in what you both do, and we believe in giving resources and more tools to the beauty professional. So I want to start with Cole. Cole, tell us a little bit more about your journey. Bring us there. Bring us through those moments where you felt, okay, there's a need here, and let's follow it.
First of all, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I love what you guys have got going on, and anything that we can kind of do to be involved, we're always here. We appreciate it. But I guess the journey, how starting ElevationH came around was I was working for Vidal Sassoon for a really long time. Originally started in salons, doing clients like the traditional route, and then I eventually got into full-time education in the school in Santa Monica. And I would work with licensed professionals, people who would come in to take a class from 1 day, 2 days, 7 days, 6 months classes, and then we'd even have a cosmetology portion to the teaching there as well. So I was kind of teaching on all different levels. And then part of my job as well would be to go out to speak to business owners, school owners, salon owners, and talk about educating or like mentoring their teams. And it was great. I worked for Sassoons for almost 15, 16 years, something like that. And I kept having the same conversation about them kind of wanting a little bit more for the new people, more help and support in keeping them loyal and around for a long time, because they found that, okay, I'm going to give them all this education and then they're leaving, and how do I kind of stop that from happening? And then also what can they give to the people who've been around for a long time to keep them excited and kind of rejuvenated? So that's me and my brother. My brother's in the UK. I live in the US, and I kind of kept speaking to him about it. and we just decided to start a company that focused specifically on that, specifically on schools, their education team, and the cosmetology students, and then to bridge the gap. So once they graduate, to help them find work and placement, to help them that if they mess a haircut up, we're there that we can help them and mentor them. And then also for people a little bit further down the line to get re-inspired. So we kind of created programs, products, and different platforms for people at every level. So that's I suppose that's the journey, because I remember myself going through that. I remember before I got into teaching, I was definitely at that kind of dip in like what's next, and then I came kind of roaring back when I started to educate. So that's the story.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, it's so important to have these tools as a beauty professional so you can continue to be confident behind the chair. You know, we come out of school with such awesome education and foundations, but now it's time to, you know, really take it to the next step. And, you know, there's so many professionals out there, and how are you going to set yourself apart? How are you going to stand out and be that stylist that your clients want to continue to come back to? And this is how you do that. You continue to grow. You don't stay stagnant, and you believe that there's more to it, you know, and you put that time in. I really love your story, and I believe in ElevationH so much because not every salon out there has continued education options, and this is perfect. Absolutely perfect. So thank you so much. Matt, I can't wait to hear your story too, because I know Krista, I've been talking to her about it and how CanvasME came about, and I, you know, personally I use it, and it's just been an amazing tool for myself and for our company. So to hear the why behind why you guys started it just gives it that much meat, and I love hearing it. So Matt, tell us your journey. Tell us the why behind CanvasME.
But my journey, I think, really where it stemmed from was my wife and I have always been in the beauty industry, really mostly on the technology side of the business. And so we helped actually really build and grow Millennium Software. So we were there for about 20 years together. My wife was the head of marketing and education at Millennium for 15 years. I was the head of PR and advertising. And Jen was involved in this even when she was around 9 years old. Her stepfather is the founder of Millennium. So she grew up around software and technology. She was building out wireframes when she was 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, and going over user frames and edge cases and really growing up in this space. So she's been around this for a very long time. And so as we continue to build our career at Millennium and really understand like how much we truly love this industry, because it was a service-based industry, we're able to really help people grow and small businesses grow and help them take care of their teams and grow their businesses and do so many cool things. There was one common challenge that we could never really solve, and it always stemmed around recruiting and growing their staff and retention and building a team and a loyal following. And it was just kept happening and happening. We started to get phone calls of salon owners that were having walkouts, and we started to like really take a step back and be like, why is this happening, right? What is the systemic issue that's causing this? And so my wife and I realized that it was really about professionalizing the way we recruit in our industry. And there's never really been a platform, there's never been a space that allowed our industry to do that. And so the corporate world has LinkedIn. They have a seamless platform where they can really highlight their opportunities and connect with other corporate professionals. But we never had a space like that in the beauty industry. And so we started to really dig and understand that we had to start at the school level. That was one of the biggest issues, that schools were underserving their students because they weren't teaching them how to properly market themselves with a Word doc resume. As we know, it doesn't do anything for a creative, right? So not only are they not able to truly market themselves, but think about it as a salon owner. How are you truly vetting talent the right way through a Word doc resume? You're not. And so that's one of the biggest challenges. So we started like, let's start at the school level. So CanvasME represents now over 320 schools around the country, and we're growing every month. And so what we do is we actually built curriculum that allows schools to give to their students, to build these beautiful digital portfolios, to give them a space where they can be heard and be seen on a national level, not just a local area. So now we're changing the way that these young artists market themselves, because it's a community around being heard and around humanization and around marketing and branding. So we teach them how to really humanize who they are, because their skill will only get them so far. Yes, it's really, really important. Like, it's very important to be able to be creative, skills, but there's a whole nother element of soft skills, of personality, of growth mindset, of drive, of values that's going to help them really take off in the industry. Listen, Jen and I, I think we've been able to grow the platform because people like who we are. They like working with us. Yes, we have a cool platform, but they love our story. They love what we've done and what we've become. And so I didn't really get to this point, but when we realized there was this massive issue at Millennium, we actually quit our jobs together. So we quit our jobs about 4 years ago in our late 30s, literally decided to uproot our entire life and our 2 children. We moved from New Jersey to California, got rid of our house, got rid of our cars. We basically risked it all to build this platform because we knew it was such a need, right? On all sides, right? So we're really the first platform to holistically connect the entire beauty industry. So you have the schools, the students, the licensed professionals, and that beauty business owner. And so, I was just saying before you hopped on, like we were able to really identify this need, but really match it with purpose and passion. And that's when you become unstoppable. Honestly, like nothing gets in the way. Like you're scared all the time and you're nervous, but you go through it because you've combined that purpose with that passion. And I think we try to teach that to our students. Like when you can identify your core values, that's when you really become unstoppable. That's how you align yourself with the beauty industry. And what we're seeing, and Ashley, we talk about this, 30% of graduates are exiting the industry within 1 to 2 years because they're not identifying their core values and they're not identifying and aligning themselves with the right brands or the right business owners coming out of school. We need to stop that. That's a massive number. So CanvasME, part of our curriculum that's going to schools is to really help them identify their story because that's what actually helped Jen and I quit our jobs. So Jen actually came up with this idea 7 years ago. We just didn't have the guts or the courage to quit our jobs. We were in our late 30s. We were like, there's no way we're going to do this. We hired a coach, Ashley, who Jen Groover, and she literally transformed our lives. But what she did is we went through this purpose discovery exercise and allowed us to really unpack 3 life-defining moments that transformed into false beliefs as we went through our life. And it kept Jen and I playing really small, right? We didn't take risk. We didn't do things that were scary. We didn't go out of our comfort zone because we had these false beliefs. And so when we realized that we were able to change that victim story to a victor story, and that's what set us free. And Jen and I were like, we need to do this. And so we gift that exercise in our curriculum to our students and licensed professionals so they can really discover their superpower. Because Jen realized one of the reasons why she was playing small her whole life was because her parents had her when her biological father and her mother had her when they were 17 years old. So her immigrant grandmother raised her. Her father wasn't around. Her mother wasn't around. She was growing up and taking care of herself. So her immigrant grandmother from Portugal raised her, who didn't speak a word of English. So she always felt like she didn't belong. She didn't fit in. She didn't have a voice, right? And she lived with her 2 aunts. So her lifestyle, her family dynamic was very different than a lot of her friends. So she felt like she never had a voice. So we realized that a lot of that story is in so many young artists' stories. They have a lot of very similar false beliefs. So Jen gives them this exercise because she realized that her superpower was to allow people to be seen and give people a voice because that's what she felt like she lacked most of her childhood. And so that's how she was able to get so close to this project and this passion to drive what CanvasME is today because it was from life experiences. And that's what we want for our young students because that's what's going to align themselves with the right beauty business owners and the right brands. It's not necessarily their creativity. Yes, that plays a part, but like, why do you love Pulp Riot? Why do you love Redken? Why do you love Matrix? Why do you love ElevationH? Like, what is it that inside of you, right, that aligns with those values? And so that's what we want to give to them. And we know that you'll see less industry exits when people are finding their tribe through those exercises.
Definitely.
Amazing.
1,000.
So today, CanvasME, we're home to 41,000 members. Everybody's looking for career opportunities. We work with some of the biggest brands in the world, hundreds of schools, thousands of salons, and it's really filling a void to really professionalize what we look as hiring and recruiting in the professional beauty industry. And so we really help and support salons, brands, and of course, students, schools, and licensed professionals.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. I love that we're sitting here talking about this too, because I do feel like we all join this industry for a reason, right? And we obviously experience burnout, and then that tends to lead people to go elsewhere. And it makes me so sad because there are so many opportunities in the industry, like ElevationH, like CanvasME, and so many other opportunities. So it's really cool that we're sitting here and sharing this and hopefully inspiring others to do the same.
Yeah, no, I love it. One of the reasons we built the platform is because we want to make sure people realize there's just so many amazing opportunities in our industry where your license can serve you, where you're not necessarily behind the chair. And I think
Yeah.
that's where you're seeing a lot of people exit the industry because there is burnout. There is things where they feel like they want to do more, but they don't realize they can do social for Elevation H. They can be a salesperson for Elevation H. They can work for Vish or Millennium or Green Circle, whatever it is, do things that are really amazing, that are giving back to the industry, but their license is still serving them, right? We work with brands all the time that are hiring educators, right? Like, how do you level up at every point of your career? And I think people just don't realize there's so much opportunity that goes being behind the chair, right? And even with students, like, there's also a high percentage of students that don't even finish school. And we feel that one of the reasons they're not finishing school is because they're getting, number one, school is tough. They get burnt out in school, but they don't see all of the opportunity out there. They're just so focused on their local area. They don't get excited enough. There's so many things happening outside of their local area where they just don't know. So we want to really bring awareness and expose them to all these different mentorships, scholarships, and things they're doing on a national level, which really they've never really had before.
Now, when it comes to starting like something like this, what makes you take that leap? I mean, like you said, you had kids, there was a lot of risk taken. How do you say, screw the risk, I'm going for it and dive head first?
Yeah, it's funny. So Jen has always been like the dreamer. Like we've always had this really this give and take relationship where I'm like the realist and she's like the dreamer, right? Like, and so if you can imagine like me quitting my job at 38 years old with two young kids was probably really, really scary, like very scary for me. But I was able to see her transformation, like when we hired Jen Groover and we went through these exercises, and Jen within a 4-week period completely transformed herself into this like passionate, like over the top, like amazing mom, mother, boss, like she's on every level she was able to transform and take this like this victor approach. That's when I was able to see like the change, and we really became like present. And like I felt like I've been going through so much of my life just like going through the motions, right? Like I never had this like higher purpose, and I always felt like I couldn't offer more. Does that make sense? Like I felt like I was just going through the motions and I was here just kind of, this is what I was meant to do. I was doing PR and beauty and I was working for Millennium and I was like, this is just my path. This is what I'm going to do. I realized that like I wasn't happy. I'm like, there's a problem there. Like I was fairly successful, right? Two young kids, beautiful marriage, but I was feeling unfulfilled and Jen was feeling the same way. We're like, well, there's got to be something wrong, right? And so we started to really dig into those feelings, being present, and being able to identify those false beliefs, those life-defining moments, and transforming that into really your superpower allowed us to really start to think of like, we can really do this, right? So taking a step back and really identifying those things was a game changer for us.
Cole, do you go through that? Did you go through that moment where you were just like, I'm not fulfilled anymore and I need to do more. I have this inside me to do more?
Absolutely. And Sam, I was having the same conversations with my brother. And we were just kind of ready for a change. And something that Matt said earlier about like who you are as a person and relationships is kind of what caused us to do it. We've been in the industry for a really long time and just met some amazing people, amazing friends who they were kind of kept asking for the same thing, asking for help. And the journey that we'd been on, we just knew that we could help. So it was almost like we have to do this because people we care about, people we love, businesses that we want to help, we have the ability to do it. But it was almost like it pushed us so far that we just really had no choice. And like you say, Matt, you just got to dive in head first. And it's scary, but it's exciting. And I think if you know deep down that you can do it, you'll do it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think the key element for us too is once you realize that you can add value to someone, right, for free. Right. There was a moment in our life where we were starting to like educate people around recruiting and humanization and marketing and branding. We're like, we could do this. Like we were doing it for free. We're adding value back. Like whenever you can go back to service for me is phenomenal, right? Whenever you can wake up every morning and realize like you're going back to service, you're helping people, you're allowing people to grow, right? Once you're doing that, you realize that you could probably start to make a career out of it. And I think that kind of clicked for us early on.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I think especially when even if you just look at your own current circle, knowing that surely there's other circles that are also experiencing the same thing. So it's that was one of the scariest things for us is we had a network. So what happens when we kind of reach the end of this network? Does it end for us? How can we branch into other places? That was the scariest thing for us for sure. But aligning yourself with amazing companies, like there's amazing companies out there who share the same message. Just all of us on this call right now, we're all from different backgrounds, different parts of the country. We all believe in exactly the same thing, even though we're doing slightly different things. It's all to help the same goal.
Yeah, absolutely. 1000%. So what's new that you're doing currently right now? You've established this, both of you have established this amazing brand. And, what are you doing right now that you're excited about, that you're working on? I know that you're constantly evolving. Like, tell us what's going on.
Yeah, no, I think for us, we realize, so like we're always going to be in the recruiting realm, right? Like we're helping, like we're always going to be helping commission-based salons. We're going to be helping people find opportunities, but we're realizing that there's a whole untapped market for brand educators, right? We realize that there's so many amazing, talented stylists around the country that just don't know how to get in front of these brands. They don't know what to do. They don't know who to reach out to. They don't know how to showcase what they've done throughout their career. So we're realizing there's this whole new market of artists that are coming to the platform that are building portfolios for the first time, that are unbelievable artists and humans around the country that are in small cities that you would never even heard of, that have giant in LA and New York and Chicago and Boston and Jersey, right? And there's so many things and they just didn't know how. So we're growing rapidly, and where I didn't think we'd do it this quickly. When it comes to licensed professionals that are 15, 20 years into the industry that are creating portfolios for the first time and applying for educator roles and getting hired, I'm like, this is crazy. So we realize there's an untapped market there of just providing opportunities for people to level up at every point of their career, not just artists that are coming out of school or estheticians or barbers. But there's this whole new geographic of professionals that have been doing it for quite some time that are now like wanting to do more and wanting to elevate their career. And a lot of that is with education, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
In a similar way, we kind of, especially this year, had a big focus on a similar area. So we launched a teacher training online university. So for people, it's kind of crazy that you mentioned that, Matt, that people who are wanting to become an educator, it's like, well, where do I start? I've never actually taught a class. Maybe I'm going to be a little nervous speaking in front of people. So we created a whole online university that you can just kind of sign up for that. And it teaches you how to do a demonstration, how to do a hands-on work session, how to present, how to communicate, all levels of communication when it comes to education, at all different levels from cosmetology to advanced. So we've kind of launched that, which has been great. And then to support that, to go a bit deeper, we launched like a personal mentorship program where they can come in and work with us. It usually lasts between 3 and 4 months. And we help them achieve whatever their personal goals are, whether they want to educate, whether they want to get just better at working with clients, whatever it is. And we mentor them and we meet weekly and they go through our online universities, and then we have Zoom calls to support them, which is cool. And then the third thing that we've launched, we try to launch 3 new things each year. The last thing that we launched is more of a subscription-based learning, which is like $20 a month. But we release new content on the first of every month. And that's more for, I would say, like the independents, which is a huge market in our industry. And then it's for those people who are experiencing that burnout in their career. That's just, I need a quick, new, easy technique for Mrs. Barnes tomorrow morning. Kind of been great. And we send out polls for people to be like, what you're seeing, what would you like to learn? And we just film new stuff and launch on the first of every month. So that's kind of the 3 things that we're really pushing. And then we still have our apprenticeship programs that we sell to salon owners to kind of help train their team. And then we have the same thing for schools as well.
Love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love that. Education is something that is blowing up right now. A lot of people are looking to do that, and it's so hard to get started. I asked myself the same question 2 to 3 years ago. I was fresh out of school. I knew I had a passion for education, and I'm like, where do I start? I need some sort of mentorship. I need to step in the shoes of someone who is currently walking the path that I wanted to walk. And so that sounds like a great, great resource for those who are wanting to do the same. But where do you guys see this going in 5 years? 5 years from now, what are your goals? with CanvasME and ElevationH?
5 years is a long time from now. Our
A
roadmap
lot
is,
can happen in 5 years.
But is it
our roadmap is pretty unique. I think for us is you kind of just mentioned it. Like we want to really help career path. Like I think that's such a big part of it. Like if I'm like you said, you're in school, or if I'm a young artist, if I have a dream of being an educator for Redken, like I need to know that now. We're seeing what happens is this, we're getting these people that are applying to become a Redken educator that are 5 years in that don't realize all the requirements and they're still 3 years away, right?
Yeah.
Certain things that they're doing. So we want to help really career path at a young age, but we also want to help identify like what brands, based on your goals and your values and the culture you want to be a part of, what brands are right for you? Like who do you want to align yourself with? So understanding who they are and almost coming up with these personality assessments to better fit into the right cultures, into the right brands, I think is really where we want to go. And we eventually see CanvasME as a source of truth for everything in your career, right? We see NFTs and blockchain and things that are happening on that level. And I think historically our industry is always a little bit behind technology. So we're going to be very purposeful with what we develop and what we provide for the market. But I think it's endless, to be honest.
Definitely.
I love that.
Krista is a Masters of Balayage educator. So she is behind the chair and does education as well. So she kind of wears a couple hats.
Yeah, I really relate to your guys' story on, hey, this is kind of where I'm at currently, but I crave more. It's like I have all the success here. Why am I still not happy? What am I looking for? What is that? I don't want to say void I'm trying to fill, but what am I missing with my purpose? And you said something, I actually wrote this down, taking your purpose and your passion and you're unstoppable. And I absolutely love that. And that's exactly what I've done with education, with Masters of Balayage. And it sounds like that's exactly what you guys are doing with these platforms you've created.
Yeah, that's one piece of advice. I think if you, listen, it's not easy to do, right? Like, not like be able to combine that purpose and passion is somewhat something I think you have to search for, and I think it's a lot deeper than people think. But when you can do that, I truly feel like nothing becomes too scary, nothing becomes too hard. We had to do a lot of just like surrender. We had to do a lot of surrendering, a lot of trusting the universe, but we just had to surrender because we knew we were on the right path. Because when you can do that, when you can combine those two elements, I think that's it, right? So just follow the journey, surrender. It's not going to be easy, but you'll be able to accomplish everything you need to accomplish for sure.
There's this quote that I really love, and it's, are you more afraid of the regret of not trying or the rejection of trying? And I feel like that relates to where you guys started, because you took these ideas, you took these dreams, and you made it happen because you chose the fear over regret of not trying, over the rejection of someone.
Yep. I used to say something similar almost every day. I used to ask myself, or I used to tell myself, everything you ever wanted is on the other side of fear. I used to remind myself of that every single day. So I completely agree, Krista. Yeah.
We get hired by some brands to kind of like train their teams and teach them how to teach and to present and stuff like that. And one thing that I'd say to anyone who's listening who wants to go down the path of educating or working with a brand, brands are always moving forward. So that they need people as much as we're looking for that job, they're looking for people to hire constantly. All of these brands, whether it's a product company, a color company, extensions, a tool company, they're at trade shows, they're moving as well, just as fast as we are. So it's not impossible. You just got to get yourself out there and get yourself ready. And we mentioned about finding mentors that can support you is absolutely huge. When it comes for the next 5 years for us, it's just, we're just going to keep doubling down every single year on our message. We have an amazing product, we have an amazing vision, and I do believe that the industry is going to swing back around a little bit, meaning that I'm finding that more salons are kind of wanting to possibly go back to like the traditional kind of like commission-based training, like production line of quality. Because I think the gap's been like graduate school, own business, and sometimes there's a drop off because it's a scary jump. So I think that's probably going to be our big focus, is working with business owners to get their team ready. And if you can create a strong culture, mission, journey for people, you'll get loyal team members because they might not necessarily need to leave if you have a full career path for them. So, and it just touches on everything that we just mentioned. That's our focus.
Right.
I kind of wish I was a beauty school student again, because things like this, like a CanvasME, again, it's brand new. I think it's what CanvasME and what you guys are doing is one of the biggest sort of needed shake-ups in the industry for a long time. And I think it's exactly what we need. It's been a long time coming. So I wish that things like that were available when I graduated, because it's pretty terrifying when you close that door behind you, like, okay, what comes next? Scary.
I think it's in all different ways. That's why we really want to get this message out there for the both of you, because you're right, Cole, it is scary to get out there to how do I express myself and how do I show people who I really am, all this work that I can do. But then how do I get confident behind the chair? I think you both have just such valuable businesses that just add so much greatness to a beauty professional. And I know when I first started, I needed that like 6 weeks to just kind of like get that extra education before I went behind the chair, because for me it was, I had the skill set, but I needed to be able to communicate with people. And how do I do that? I didn't know how to do that. Where I could see what I wanted to do, but how can I express that? How do I get that across? Yeah, I mean, I think that it's phenomenal work.
And I think that because we speak to salon owners and independents, and we speak to everybody in the industry, and we find what happens a lot is, let's say, for example, a salon owner's goal or dream is to have a commission-based salon where they bring in new talent, they train them, and then they have great careers with them. We find a lot of them like, I'm just over it, I'm going to give up on it. So they're giving up on the dream because it's hard or people are not leaving. But if they just kind of like, I had a CanvasME to bring them the right person, and then had an ElevationH to help train them and set them up for success. There is options out there for whatever level you're in. Don't give up, because there's loads of amazing companies out there that can help you with whatever your goals and your missions are. And it's easy just to be like, I'm just going to rent a chair and wipe my hands of it. It's like, don't give up. There's people out there.
Well, yeah, no, I think it's a great call for sure. And I think for us, like, one of the reasons we built CanvasME too is really help empower the salon owner, because I think what's happening is they're getting burnt out because there isn't a recruiting strategy in place, and without staff, without a loyal team, you're not going to succeed. And so what's happening is they're getting burnt out. And so what CanvasME is really geared up to do is, like, I think we also need to help change the mindset of salon owners. Like, I think 5, 6, 7 years ago, I think in their heads they thought they were going to build teams and have stylists stay with them for 10 to 15 years. That's changing. That's evolving. This generation of artists coming out of school, you can't expect as a salon owner to keep somebody that long. Nor do I think you want to, but that's a whole other story. But I think the mindset needs to change, where your goal as a salon owner is to create such an amazing culture that you're growing these artists to a point where they can go on their own if they want to. So after 2 or 3 years, they want to go on their own. That's great, but they're going to be so grateful for the opportunity they spent with your salon growing and increasing in who they are as an artist and their craft, that they're going to tell everybody else they need to work for that person. That's your goal of the salon owner, not to keep somebody there for 10 to 15 years. And so I think we need to help really change the mindset of the industry to really help. It's got to be about the artist, right? And if you build a culture that helps these people thrive, regardless of what they want to do, whether they want to go booth rental, or whether they want to open up their own salon, or whether they want to stay with you for 10 years, they're going to say that experience was so amazing that they're going to tell everybody else to go work for you. That's the goal of CanvasME, is to build these high-performing cultures. And so I think part of it, though, is really transforming the mindset of some of these salon owners to stop thinking like they're going to be keeping these people for 10 years, because it's just not reality anymore.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. And what would help the salon owner as well let go of that is exactly what you're saying. If they've got great people, because they want to hold on to them because they're great.
Right.
But if you get the right person and give them the right training, it's this beautiful like production line.
It'll feed itself. Yeah. Listen, CanvasME is a great tool, right? But if you're seeing turnover every 6 to 12 months, that's not helping anybody, right? That's not what we want, right? So it really is about empowering the salon owners to really start to think differently, because just like, marketing your opportunity is completely changed. The artist that's coming out of school, this generation is different, right? Their goals are different, their values are different, what's important to them is different. And so I think that we need to, as an industry, evolve and start to think a little bit differently in certain situations. Yeah.
Love it.
I love that. I love the idea of getting into the mind of someone, or of Gen Z, or is it Gen X now? Gen Z, what is it?
I still say Gen Z, but yeah.
So like, I'm a Gen Z, unfortunately, but it's really awesome that you're, say that again.
I said, don't say that. Don't say unfortunately.
Well, I feel like there's a stigma with Gen Z that, oh, we don't want to work, or, we don't want to put in the work or stuff like that. But really, it's a mindset thing of, we're just trying to work smarter, not harder. Not saying we're not willing to put in that work. However, we're just doing it in a different way to make things happen in a shorter period of time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I completely agree. We actually are, Jen Gruber's our CIO, and the reason why she's our CIO, because she's a clinical psychologist. Like, she understands behavior, she understands people, and that's so important when it comes to recruiting and understanding the people that you're bringing into your business. So I agree. I think there is a false stigma with Gen Z. And I mean, it's funny, people also thought too, like, because of COVID, that the level of talent coming out of school was less because people were learning online. Like, what I'm seeing coming out of schools is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Talent, the creativity. So I think there's a lot of excitement for the industry, and I think as a salon owner, you should be very excited for sure.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That was amazing.
So
Absolutely
good.
Amazing. I feel so inspired, and I just feel like this is such a value to everyone listening. I mean, resources galore on this episode. What do you think?
Not only just resources, but community as well. I think it's so important to surround yourself with people who are able to uplift you, support that dream, and actually help you turn your dream into a reality. And I'm so excited for this episode. So thank you guys for joining us today. I hope those of you that were listening were able to take something from this and let it inspire you and spark that fire that was also sparked within us while recording this episode. We're so excited for next week. We're going to be bringing on Michael Cole, who is an industry guru. We're so excited to sit down, chat with him, and we will see you next week on Connect Through Beauty 2.0.
Hey guys, I just wanted to talk to you about ElevationH. Paul and Cole Thompson from Manchester, England have created this incredible company. They have apprenticeship programs just for salons. They take that all out of the hands of the salon owner and just take care of it for them. Amazing. They do the same thing in beauty schools and get in there and take them to the next level. They also have memberships for professionals. Guys, we need continued education, and we need it to grow. These two have really just elevated that for us in our career, in our businesses. Go ahead and check them out. All of the links are there in our show notes. As always, thank you so much for staying connected with us. Continue to use us as resources so that you can continue to grow as a beauty professional.